All right, hey guys, welcome back. Zach, and I've got my good friend Brian here.
Hey man.
And today we're actually talking about a product that we've had in for a little while. It's been probably one of the cooler products I think this year that there's been a lot of interest in. We got our first initial order in and they sold out right away. We finally got some more back in, so we decided to do a video. So this is the Stan Onnex Clicker thumb button. Awesome release.
I love it.
So Brian has got this thing, has picked it up and been shooting the crap out of it. And we're gonna kind of go through it and kind of give you guys some information on it, a little bit of feedback on what we think about it, do some demos on it, and kind of tell you guys everything it comes with. So if you're familiar with Stan makes a killer release. They've got the new Onnex series that they've come out with, which includes a thumb, hinge, and a resistance release. So all of the handles are the same, so you can kind of go across any of those releases and everything matches up.
Yep.
Your anchor point and everything doesn't really change. They all feel very similar. So the new Stan Clicker that we finally got back in, this is available in a standard, like you see here, in this sage green color, which is pretty slick looking. And then the heavy metal. And the heavy metal it's got some weight behind it.
It's just that. It's a brass. It's a very heavy. It's just, I mean, it's over double the weight.
It is.
Of this.
It's built like a tank. I mean, it's got some serious weight to it.
Yeah.
If it falls out, I mean, if you lose that thing, drop it, you know it's missing. It's super heavy. It's that polished brass finish that does look really, really clean though. It's got a little bit of bling to it.
Yes. It's
so,
a little bougie.
It is a little bougie. So I'm a fan of the Sage myself.
Yes.
I think it looks good. These are available in all the different sizes. We got medium, larges, extra large. I think they're available in small and double XL.
Yeah, the double X, that's going to be a huge hand.
Yeah,
I mean, I have a big meat hook and I'm running a large.
Yeah, I fit a large myself too. Fits super comfortably in my hand. So the cool thing about this release is one of the things that we kind of, here at the shop, we deal with a lot of bow hunters. The cool thing about it is the actual design. You can hook it on your D-loop and you don't got to worry about it falling off. So any bow hunters out there, that are in the woods, you don't got to keep it in your pocket. It's got the open hook design, but it's also got that clamp on it.
Yep. Both hooks are spring loaded. It's been around for a long time, the retaining of your release on your string. This one, you would go ahead and set it, and then it's got a captive hook right here that regardless of whether it's set or not, you just run it through and it's not going anywhere, okay? Even if the release is fired, you can still have somewhat of a retention on it. So you got to be careful. If you start to pull on it, you'll know it's not set. But it does have positive retention. It will let you know. So when it's hanging in the tree and you're in that moment, you just grab the bow, grab that release, and go ahead and set.
Killer feature. So, Brian, we're going to kind of go through the, I want you to kind of show some of the components on it. So the first thing is obviously the cocking mechanism.
Yep. The hammer is on the bottom. This plays really well into your hand. So as you hold it, just like this, I've run the forefinger on it. I literally take my thumb underneath, cock it, and then as I put it onto my D-loop, I take my middle finger and just set it in there, and then I'm ready to go.
Very natural. You don't really have to fight it trying to get it on the D-loop like some of the releases that we've.
You don't have to hook it in there and then try and hook it on. You lock it before, hammer's down, and then it's retained on there, and you just let it go.
Perfect. So this is obviously new, right? It's the clicker. So it's a thumb button with a click. So what is one of the reasons, like who is shooting a thumb button? Why would you want to click? What's one of the reasons?
So for me personally, I prefer a thumb button when I'm hunting. I've tried it with the hinge. I start to get a little bit of target panic until I hit that click, and then it's like, okay, I need to just slow down. That was the benefit of the hinge for me, was that click. Let it know, right. Okay, reset that mental game. Okay, it's go time. Thumb buttons, you just pull that travel until it releases. When you start to shoot repetitive, you're sighting in a bow, you're doing outdoor 3D tournament like we do a lot of here, you start to get a little tired. That fatigue starts to set in, and then you're like constantly pulling, then you start to shake, and you don't know when it's exactly going to fire. That click just lets you know, it says, okay, concentrate, pull through.
Yeah, so you get to that click, and then you just, at that point, you're already aiming, you focus on finishing the shot.
Correct.
So, yeah, it's this thing, and if you feel the mechanisms in it, everything is incredibly crisp.
Very crisp.
That's why I'm such a big fan of Stan, is just how crisp everything is. When you adjust it, I mean, you can adjust the travel on this, you can adjust the tension on it, you can adjust everything on it. You know, one of the cool things about this is whenever you get this release, it comes in a box, and it comes with everything you could ever need to set it up to your liking, which can almost be, you know, overwhelming at times because there's so many ways you can adjust and configure this thing to fit perfectly in your hand and fit any size hand.
Yeah, it is a universal fit. Whether you want to take, you know, the finger extensions off, you can run it almost like a silverback in just a 2-finger configuration. You can adjust the angle of the post, you can adjust the angle of the thumb button, you can adjust the length of the post. I mean, 2-finger, 3-finger, 4-finger, it's got it all.
Small post, or small barrel, thicker barrel. I personally like the thicker barrel. I feel like I get a little bit more surface area when I wrap my thumb around it. It just feels a little cleaner in my hand. But like he said, it comes with everything you can need. You can change the sweep on the actual fingers in the back, farther forward, further back. You can change, it comes with the extended post. So if you like it out a little bit further, a little bit closer, you can do anything and everything with this release.
So how many times have you sold a thumb barrel to somebody who just wants to get into it, and then you have to fix their bow because they just dry fired it?
Oh yes.
Okay,
That's
so
the
here's another thing that they've done. They've introduced this lock. This lock runs right into the top of the post, just like that, or to this side rather, sorry. And then once you engage it, it will not let you fire. Okay, you can get right to that point, you can get to the click, and then you get to the click, it won't fire. It's there. So you know you can test it. You can run this, you can run your bow, you can run everything. You're gonna have to let it down because this will not let you fire. I mean, it comes with the lock in it.
Yeah, it's a killer training aid.
Yes, it is phenomenal. For those guys who are just looking to get into a thumb button, maybe you're shooting a wrist rocket or a trigger punch, whatever you wanna do, this thing will literally cover all angles. Any questions you have, it's gonna be in there.
Yes, set it up to whatever configuration you like. So I know we were talking the other day, you've got this thing, you've already shot a bunch with it. I mean, you've probably got more, you know, time on it than anybody else here already. I know one of the things I saw in a video that you posted the other day about it was the ability, you know, you get to that click and the shot just doesn't feel right and you want to let it down.
Right. So I love shooting a hinge. That click lets me know it's go time. But once you hit that click, say something happened yesterday, a mosquito literally flew into my nose. And I was like, oh no. So I let my thumb off of the barrel and I rode it home. All I had to do was reset it. So I got to that click right there, and then I was like, oh no, it's still holding. Let my thumb off, released it, reset the hammer, and you're ready to go.
Yep.
Regroup, get your mind right, get back on the shot.
Go ahead and demonstrate the click on this thing. You know, set it, demonstrate the click for everybody, and then, you know, follow through with that shot, just so everybody can really hear that click on this thing.
So when you pull, you get your anchor point. I like to run mine just like I run a hinge. So I make an OK symbol with my index finger and my thumb, and then I start to pull back with my pinky and my elbow. There's the click, pull through. It's that, I mean, it's audible. It's more textile in your hand than it is audible. That was my big question when I first asked you about it. I was like, how audible is it? Because anything in the woods that's unnatural can then put something on alert. So that click, I mean, it's more of a feeling in your hand when you've got it. And if your anchor point is right, it's right next to your ear. So it's here, and I start to pull back. There's that click, and then you pull through. So that ability for me is worth its weight in gold, because I know once I hit that click, okay, resettle, focus on the pins, look where I'm going, and pull through.
Finish it, yeah. That's it. So, and like we were talking about with the adjustment in this thing, you can adjust the tension. So clockwise increases it, counterclockwise decreases the tension. And then, so as far as the tension adjustment, that's actually by the index finger.
Yep.
So we've got our tension adjustment, and then you can adjust your travel. So clockwise decreases the amount of travel, and then counterclockwise increases the amount of travel. And one of the things about that is I was reading and watching some other stuff on these releases is when you adjust the travel, it does not affect the distance from the click to fire. So it just changes the feel of it, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
obviously more tension, it's going to require a little bit more pressure. It's going to change the feel of it, but it doesn't actually change the distance from click to fire.
It's almost like the adjustment on any resistance release.
Right.
Okay, so that tension is just going to require you to pull a little bit harder.
Yep.
That distance from click to fire remains exactly the same. So training aids, everything is going to be exactly the same on this, and it will never change based on the internals that are put in this thing.
Right,
I mean,
absolutely.
It's a tank.
Yeah, it is. You know, these things, one, they look good. The sage green is super clean looking, in my opinion, with the black on it. And then the heavy metal is just that, super heavy.
Yep.
So if you want something with a little bit of weight in your hand, you know, go with the heavy metal option. And again, these come in all different sizes. So really, these can fit just about anybody. And with the different attachments that they come with, the different thumb barrels, extended posts, you really, I mean, you can figure this thing however you want. Man.
Get it where you like it, lock it all down, and just leave it alone. It's not going to change.
That's it.
You know, I mean, you can adjust angles on the thumb button itself. And I mean, I keep my lock stowed in my thumb barrel just in case I ever need it for who knows what other than training, but it just stays there. And everything is in the box, guys. You don't have to spend an extra $40 on a 3-finger, an extra $30 on a different thumb barrel. It's all there, you know.
All included.
All included.
And like I said, we can't say enough good thing about the internals with thing. The click, the crispness of this thing. I mean, whenever you actually activate the release and then you go to fire it, I mean, it's just like
smooth. It is smooth.
It doesn't get any better than that.
It doesn't. And the hammer, even just resetting the hammer, the textile feel when you set the hammer, I mean, you know it's there. So once you get in the wood, you hang it, lock it in, hang it on your loop, and let it roll.
Yeah.
And then once you're ready, I mean, it's just going to hang there. You set your fingers in, grab your bow, and roll through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and also, you know, one of the things about it too is like we keep going, you know, kind of harping on this, the configuration and whatnot, but the way it's designed to fit in your hand, to reset the hammer and everything, it's all designed perfectly, you know, one-hand design as far as getting it on the D-loop. It doesn't require you to try to go and then lock it with the caliber,
That's
or
right.
the head around it. I mean, it's very, very easy to manipulate with one hand, which to me is huge. It's really important, especially when I'm in the woods.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
So if you're interested in these releases or any of the stand products, any of the Onnex series releases, head over to the website, extremeoutfitters.com, or there's a link down below. This is going to take you directly to the Onnex Clicker thumb buttons in both the standard and the heavy metal. So appreciate you guys, appreciate your feedback. Make sure you guys are following our social media channels. We've got a really big giveaway, a full hunting package giveaway coming very soon for you guys. We got some good collaboration stuff going on with Brian. Some Easton stuff that we've done. Yeah, so if you guys are interested or have any feedback for us, make sure you comment below. Let us know what you guys are looking for and, you know, kind of what things, products, bows you'd like us to review. And, you know, we'll do the best we can. So until then, appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you in the next video.